محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم. أنت رب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. وهذا شعر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور. وهو الشهر الذي فرضت صيامه عليه، وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر. فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك، من علي بفقاك ركبتي من النار، في من تمن عليه وادخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. دعاء افتتاح. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي، واجب يا رحيم دعوتي، واقل يا غفور أثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من قربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وأثرة قد أكلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الظل، وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها، على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه، ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه، ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده، الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده. الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما، إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير ما حاجة بي إليه أديما، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إنا عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وصفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك على قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي. أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فصرت عدوك آمنا، وأسألك مستأنسا، لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مضلا عليك فيما كسدت فيه إليك. فإن أبط عني أتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبط عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي يا رب. إنك تدعوني فأولئن، وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك كأن لي التطول عليك. فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الأسباب ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والعنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى، وتبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته العظام، وتواضع لعظمته العظمى، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي، ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا عاصي، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجاضي. فكم من موهبة هنيئة قد أعطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد قفاني، وبهجة منقة قد عراني. فأثني عليه حامدا، وأذكره مسبها. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد صائل، ولا يخيب عامله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين، ويضع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا، ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين، مغير الظالمين، مدرك الهاربين، نكال الظالمين، صريخ المستصرخين، موضع حاجات الطالبين، ومعتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها، وترجف العرض وعمارها، وتموج البحار ومن يسبه في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا، وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق، ويرزق ولا يرزق، ويطعم ولا يطعم، ويميت الأحياء، ويحيي الموتى، وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير، وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك، وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأذكى وأما وأطيب وأطهر وأصنع وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك، وآياتك الكبرى والنبي العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبط الرحمة وإمام الهدى الحسن والحسين سيد الشباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المعمل والعدل المنتظر ووفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله وكل له دينه الذي ارتضيته له أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعظه وعذذ به وانصره وانتصر به وانصره نصرا عظيما وافتح له فتحا يسيرا واجعله من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملناه وما قصرنا عنه فبلغناه. اللهم المم به شعثنا واشعب به صدعنا وارتق به فتقنا وكثر به قلتنا وعاضد به ذلتنا واغن به عائلنا واكس به عن مغرمنا واجبر به فقرنا وصد به خلتنا ويسر به عسرنا وبيض به وجوهنا وفك به أسرنا وانج به طلبتنا وانجز به مواعيدنا واستجب به دعوتنا وعاتنا به سعلنا وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا وعاتنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسعولين وأوسع المعطين. اشفي به صدورنا واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله وغيبة ولينا وكثرة عدونا وقلة عددنا وشدة الفتن بنا وتظاهر الزمان علينا فصل على محمد وآل محمد وإنا على ذلك بفتح منك تؤجله وبضر تكشفه ونصر تعظه وسلطان حق تظهره ورحمة منك تجللناها وعافية منك تلبسناها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
أم كيف يرجو فضلك في رقه منها فتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك فباليقين يقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما لكنك تقدست اسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته وأعلنته أخفيته وأظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعدم صفاتك واسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي في الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة وأعمالي عندك مقبولة حتى أن تكون أعمالي ومرادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قو على خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وادنو منك دنو المخلصين وخافك مخافة الموقنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد ومن كادني فكيد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وقربهم منزلة منك وخصهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجود لي بجودك وعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وقلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا سابق النعم يا دافع النقم يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فاتحة
أفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد أستغفر الله وأسأله التوبة لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله كما هو أهله الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين قال لكم في كتاب المجيد والفرقان الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today is the second of holy month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your fast, your charity, your services, your worship. Tonight is the Thursday, the night of forgiveness, night of Marhumin, night of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins of our parents and all Marhumin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the arrival of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. The dua of today, supplication of today, there are 3 points. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma qarribni fihi ila mardatik wa jannibni fihi min sakhatika wa nakimatik wa wafiqni fihi li karati ayatik birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Very beautiful dua. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us in Quran to do dua, to supplicate, to beg to Him. Alhamdulillah, we are in the month of fasting, and this month is month of supplications as well. Supplication mainly, this is motivation, this is catalyst. This is planning. This is enthusiasm to do something. When we are praying and supplicating, it does not mean we should not do anything. We shouldn't work. No. Supplication is to getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and telling Him your issues, your problems, your difficulties, your wishes, your plans. Share with Him. He is there to listen. So whatever you are going to ask Him, maybe on the spot He will give you. Maybe He will delay. Maybe He will give us in Alim Barzakh. Or maybe He will grant us on the day of judgment or after that. Our duty is to maintain our bond and relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through dua, through supplication. And we should not to be worried and to be in hurry. So we have to perform our duty. And as He said, La taqnatu min rahmatillah. We should never be hopeless. Sometimes people, they are in trouble, they are in difficulty, they are facing calamities, diseases, difficulties. And within no time, they are waiting for the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when something is delayed or what they were expecting to get and to receive through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from unseen word and they are not receiving, then they are hopeless. So we shouldn't be like that. Our duty is to share our issues, problems, difficulties with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To request Him to help us, to support us, to give us. Then we should let Him decide if it will be in our favor to grant us on the spot, He will give us. And if He is going to delay to fulfill our desires or to fulfill our wishes, so then His decision, He is the best decision makers. We are not. We are not having knowledge of unseen world. We don't know the issues, the problems, the difficulties we are facing that is due to our own deficiencies, our own mistakes, or maybe that could be trial and test from unseen world, or it could be planning of our enemies. It could be anything. So once things are not clear for all of us, we should trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His decisions. Today's dua, very beautiful dua. There are three things. The first thing, we are begging to Him and we need it. We have to work for that. We have to plan for that. And that is the ultimate purpose of our life. What's that? We are begging to Allah, Allahumma qarribni fihi ila mardatik. Allah, today, give me ability, give me opportunity to get closer to you. We pray salah and we do niyat qurbatan ila Allah. This ilah is towards Allah. So if we are at long distance spiritually and physically from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah is everywhere. When we say we are at distance, what does that mean? Wherever we will be, Allah is there. Then what does this distance mean? Mean we are not having healthy relationships, close relationship, the relation of love and respect with each other. So this is the distance. It's not physical distance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everywhere. He is watching us. He knows what we are doing, what we are thinking. But this dua, this month of dua, this month of supplication, and that is going to educate us how to do and what to do. So important thing is, during this month we have to supplicate. We need to develop this habit to talk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once we are talking and sharing our thoughts to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so then we will plan how to do, what are resources which are needed, what kind of efforts this project need, this hajat need. A lot of things to achieve. Like if a person is begging to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, give me a child, give me a baby. But if that person is not married, so that will not happen. Maybe he can have the foster child, he can adopt someone. But if that person is going to have his or her biological child, so for that, that person need to plan to get married, to have spouse, and then planning to have baby. So most of the time we are begging to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala different things, wishes, hajat. But for that, it is not enough. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He has created this whole universe with just one word, kun, fayakun, He said, be, and that it is, that was there. But for most of the things, this word is word of reasons. So if we want to have something, we need to earn, we need to achieve. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us hands, feet, body, and then our brain. How? With which we can think, plan, analyze, and then try to achieve. So if we are not doing dua, then possibly we will be hopeless person. Secondly, we don't have our strong bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thirdly, instead of getting and depending on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will depend on others other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That may involve us in polytheism or shirk. So the first part, very important. Allahumma qarribni fihi. Oh Allah, in this day, give me ability, give me opportunity to get closer to you, to be your servant, to beg to you, to share with you. And after that, you will give me energy, you will give me aim, objective, you will give me power to overcome all of my difficulties, to achieve my goal. And what we are asking today, we can ask anything, but the most important dua and aim of our life is ila mardatik. Allah, I want to make you happy. Your pleasure, your happiness. That is my ultimate goal. If you are happy, everything else will be happy with me. If you are upset, you are unhappy with me, then if rest of the world, if they are happy with me, that's not going to help me. Oh my Lord, you are important for me. Your happiness, your rida is important for me. You know, in Quran, verse number 207, Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. The Shan Nazul of this verse is related with our first Imam, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us through Quran how we can make happy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what kind of tests and trials we need to pass. And our first Imam is also, through his practice, through his deeds, through his actions, he is teaching us how we can attain the level of happiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mardatillah. Imam Ali alayhi salam, when this verse was revealed, it is the night of migration of Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina. That night was very, very difficult for Messenger of God. So all tribes of Mecca, they were enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of them, they decided, they chose different person from different tribes, and they decided to kill Messenger of God on that night. So they were surrounding the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That very night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to test loyalty, obedience, and brotherhood, and sincerity, and bravery of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Rasulullah called Imam Ali alayhi salam, Ya Ali, I decided to leave Makkah. I decided to leave this house. And I want. You are going to sleep on my bed. You will put a cloak, a sheet on yourself. You will pretend you are sleeping. And my enemies and enemies of Islam, they should think, and they will think, that Prophet is sleeping, and when he will wake up and he will come out, so they will attack. They have planned to kill me. Ya Ali, I want you to sleep on my bed. That bed, although that was very, very blessed bed of the world, because that was bed of Rasulullah. But that bed on that very night was not a sheet of flowers. A bed full of blessings. Everyone knew that night sleeping on that bed is equal to death. But our Imam, whose Iman was tested already, whose dignity was, whose sincerity and loyalty was tested already. From the very first day when Prophet announced and declared that I am messenger of God, and people started to attack him, to throw stones on him, always Imam Ali alayhi salam was with him as a warrior, as protector, as a guard. Imam Ali alayhi salam, after listening that, he asked only one question. Ya Rasulullah, I'm happy to sleep on this bed, but I just want to know, for me, your life, that is important. Your protection, that is important. So if I am going to sleep on your bed and you are going to leave this house, I just want to know, when I am sleeping here, if you are safe. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam smiled and said, Ya Ali, yes. When you will be sleeping here, I will be safe. Imam Ali alayhi salam smiled and said, Ya Rasulullah, I am happy to sleep here. And that was the only night when our Imam has best of his sleep during his full life. He was not under threat. He was under threat. Enemies were surrounding that house. But someone who has khawf and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then how could that person be scared of enemies of Rasulullah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited angels and told them, announce, O Jibreel and Mikael, O Israfil and Israel, you are brothers of each other. Are you happy to be killed for each other? They said, no. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, look in Makkah. One brother is happy to be killed for the life of his brother Muhammad. Ali is happy to give his life, to sacrifice himself, to protect his brother Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this medal was given to Imam Ali alayhi salam on that night, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam with this verse, O Jibreel, go and give glad tidings to my beloved messenger Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِ نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ. Is there anyone who is happy to sell his life to get happiness and pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because Wallahu ra'ufun bil ibad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very, very kind towards his servants. And that night, who was earning marwatillah, the pleasure of God, the happiness of God, that was our Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Although Imam Ali alayhi salam, he received rida of Allah, but he paid a price for that. So Allah and Imam Ali alayhi salam and Rasulullah and Quran, they are going to teach us. Each and every one of us, we can receive and get happiness and pleasure of God, but for that we have to do something. We have to pay the price. You know, among Muslims, there were many Muslims who left Rasulullah in the battle of Uhud. But on that day, Imam Ali alayhi salam, his sword was broken and Zulfaqar was given to our Imam in that battle, in that war. But Imam Ali alayhi salam was doing circumambulance, was doing tawaf around Rasulullah and was protecting and receiving every attack, and everyone who was going to attack or injure Rasulullah, Imam Ali alayhi salam was standing in front of that person. In the battle of Tabuk, so many Muslims, they left Rasulullah alone, but Imam Ali alayhi salam was standing next to Rasulullah. So a person asks, Ya Ali, when everyone else was leaving Rasulullah alone in battle of Uhud, why you didn't leave him alone? Imam Ali alayhi salam replied, how is that possible? After having Iman, after being Mu'min, how could I leave Rasulullah alone? I can't turn away from Messenger of God. Once I accepted him, Messenger of God, then I can't leave. So this is sign and symbol of Iman. So this kind of Iman we need to inculcate in ourselves, especially during this month. Quran is there to help us to improve our Iman. Our wajib prayers, our nawafil, our charity, our fasting, our akhlaq, our family members, our well-wishers. So everyone is going to support us in this month, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also waiting for us. He has provided us another opportunity to get closer to Him. So that's why Aimat alayhi salam, they have taught us this dua. So once we are listening this dua, we are reading this dua, so this is going to embark our brain, our thought. If until today we didn't plan to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let's start now. So that's why we are doing this dua. Allahumma qarribni fihi ila mardatik. Oh Allah, provide me opportunity to get closer to you. Then, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do we need to do? Because just saying and reading this is, although this is one factor to get closer, because whenever we are reading dua, that is a factor, that is a catalyst that is bringing us, pushing us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bringing us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But just asking dua is not sufficient. We need to plan for that to achieve our goals. We need to carry on our journey continuously. Our traveling shouldn't be like that. So one day we should travel, and then on next station we should sit down for 1 month, and after 1 month we should again travel for 1 day, and again we are taking rest. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, the true believers, they should leave rest for their graves. Once they are in the graves, so they can take rest whatever they like. But this world is world of actions. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Everyone in this world is a loser, but only those who are true believers and they are people of actions, they are not losers. And a moment need to be like that. We need to have iman. We need to prosper. We need to progress in our iman, and prosperity in our iman we could bring when we are people of actions. If we are not doing good deeds, we can't reach anywhere. So the first and important point for today is we need to do different actions to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our intention should be to make Him happy. At the same time, when we are doing all positive and good deeds to make happy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to achieve His pleasure, His happiness, at the same time this dua is also teaching us وَجَنِّبْنِ فِيهِ مِنْ سَخَطِكَ وَنَقِمَاتِكَ. And oh Allah, don't give me capacity, ability, opportunity to commit something, to do something that is making you upset, that is inviting your wrath and your torture. So it means there are few actions, positive actions, good deeds, which are helping us, pushing us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make Him happy. But there are other actions which we usually say these are sins, and sins always push us away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only sins are pushing us away from Allah, but they are also making Him unhappy, inviting His wrath and torture. You know, even a little bit pain, if that is going into our skin, our feet, our hand, we start crying. That's painful for us. We can't tolerate. But when there is fire, we can't put our hand. That will burn us. Could we imagine? Could we imagine hellfire? The flames of hellfire will chase us from 1,000 miles away. They will grab us, they will pull us, and those flames will take us towards the bottom of that hellfire. And this weakest of the weak body cannot tolerate that hellfire. So we should try our best to control our nafs, our intentions, our thoughts, our actions. We should not try, and especially in this month, as every good deed has been multiplied in this month, likewise punishment will also be multiplied. If someone is committing a sin or disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or doing something tyranny against the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so this sin is bringing a punishment many times more as compared to other days and night. So both way we need, one side we should stop ourselves to commit sin, and other way we should improve and increase the number of good deeds where we try to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third part is وَوَفِّقْنِي فِيهِ لِقِرَاءَةِ آيَاتِكَ بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا أَرْحَمَ الرَّاحِمِينَ. O Allah, you are kind. I beg you in the name of, for the sake of your mercy, Arhama, best of your mercy, best form of, the best quality of your mercy, Allah, I am begging you. There are many kind people around me. Even enemies, even animals, they are kind to each other. And many creatures, they are kind to each other. Human beings, they are kind to each other. But you are best of the best to be kind. Ya bi rahmatika, O Allah, I'm begging to you, begging for your mercy. And you are best of the best to be kind, to be merciful. And give me tawfiq. Today give me tawfiq to read and recite your ayat. O Allah, give me ability to read Quran. And especially in this month, if we read Quran, one verse of Quran, reading one verse of Quran is giving us a reward of more than 6,000 verses in other months and days. How the good deeds are being multiplied in this month. And that one verse could be like Qaf, that is one verse. Alif Lam Mim, that is other verse. Alif Lam Ra, that is other verse. Ar-Rahman, that is one verse. How kind is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the follower and true follower of Rasulullah and Imam Ali alayhi salam, we need to love Quran. Day and night, inshallah. We should try to read Quran, verses of Quran. And as I said yesterday, when we are not reading, when we are not learning, when we are not thinking in Quran, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to address us. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Oh people, have your hearts been locked? Have your hearts been rusted? You don't read Quran, you don't ponder in Quran, you are not planning few minutes to give Quran and to learn Quran. If you have questions, so you can write down. Until now, the question I got, that is, people normally sponsor iftar for a family. In this case, should they be required to pay zakat al-fitr for them as well? Very nice question. Zakat al-fitr, that is wajib, and anyone who is earning person or head of family or earning person should pay for himself or herself, and also those family member who are kids, so father or mother who are earning, they have to pay £6.50 per person. Even if a lady is pregnant, fitra for that should also be paid. And the niyat to pay fitra, that should be done on the night of Eid. So this is wajib, and if someone is not paying fitra, this zakat is not being paid, so his or her fast will not be accepted. There are many benefits, but the main purpose and the main objective of paying zakat al-fitra is so someone who is poor, orphan, among your relatives or in your neighborhood. If nobody is poor in your country or in your neighborhood, so then you can pay anywhere in the world. But priority is with your family members and with your neighborhood. So this is a different thing. Iftar is different things. Uh, in Islam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he emphasized a lot. He said, even just with a glass of water and half of the date, you should invite people, or you should provide to the people, give to the people. But try to give iftar. Mean any food, someone who is fasting, you are offering that food. And usually nowadays we are facing corona, so you can invite few members, few number of people at home, or maybe only one family you can invite one day. But having packed food, you can deliver that food to most of the people where you want to give, or even the mosque. You can give this iftar in the packed form this year, especially to protect yourself, your family members, and other people to get infected with corona. So this was the difference of giving. Both are important. Zakat fitra is wajib, iftar is not wajib, but it is highly recommended. A lot of benefits we can get through both of the ritual. Next question is, what is the most important amal in the month of Ramadan? Again, this is hadith. There are a lot of things already. In my speech, I have mentioned these things. But one thing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the most important amal in this month, Imam Ali alayhi salam asked, Rasulullah replied, is stopping someone from committing sins. So controlling myself, anyone who is Muslim, who is Mu'min, Mu'mina. So if there is any opportunity to do any sin, any haram, and when we are controlling ourselves, staying away from that haram, from that sin, this is the best of the amal. So sometimes we commit sins through our eyes, sometimes through our ears, sometimes through tongue, sometimes through the the text we are writing, our voice message we are sending, or the hands we are using, our feet we are using. So during this month we need to be very, very careful and conscious not to do anything that is haram, that is sin. And this is best of the ritual in this month, and especially wasting the time in love things. So anything that is not beneficial, we shouldn't do that. But there are many other recommended and good things during this month we can do. One of them is giving iftar. Other is helping the people. Even helping at home in preparing food and cooking different things, or helping the neighbors or many other people, and at night praying namaz shab and other nafla prayers. So there are a lot of things to do. But one thing, and very important, Holy Prophet emphasized, that is, we should stop ourselves committing sins. Best of the ritual of holy month of Ramadan. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآل الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين.